Hello everybody, and welcome to what's going to be the start of a short series of tutorials focused primarily on how to get started on Vatsim and some of the phraseology that you might need to know to get yourself clearance for your flight and other things. Today's video is going to focus on how to build your flight plan and get clearance from the controller, and we'll discuss multiple different things. We've spawned in at Manchester Airport. This is the payware early access version from Macco Simulations. It's early access at the moment, so if you wish to go ahead and purchase it, then there's a link in the description for you to just click on, and I can highly recommend it because it is a fantastic piece of scenery. So I've generated a route on SimBrief, and just a simple Manchester to Gatwick. And I use SimBrief because it's free to use, and I do like to try and stick to freeware as much as I can. Manchester to Gatwick and a diversion to Bournemouth, and it's given us a preliminary cruise of flight level 190, which sounds about correct for the route in question. Flight time there on SimBrief of 42 minutes and a block time of 1 hour 10, so that's gate to gate. And it's given us an estimated block fuel there, but SimBrief grossly overestimates that, so when you put it in the MCDU and do the flight planning fuel plan section of the MCDU, you'll get a different figure. And we've gone ahead and got a verified route generated there via that Samba 1 Yankee departure using 23 right. So we need to know all of this in preparation for getting our flight plan built in. And I've covered how to program the MCDU and add a flight plan on there. So taking all of that in mind, we'll skip ahead and look at how to actually put these things onto vPilot. So this is what your vPilot client looks like, and within this you've got loads of different options here. So you can see there Manchester Ground is online at the moment. Manchester's a good one to start off as it's a training base for Vatsim controllers. As well as Edinburgh, so I recommend Edinburgh's a fantastic one to start from. It's a very simple, small airport, but Manchester's nice as well because it's busy. And you've got that Manchester ATIS down on vPilot there as well. Now, if you go ahead and click into open the flight plan, if you click flight plan on vPilot, you get this menu here pop up. And you want the EGCC as your departure airport, and because we're flying in this EasyJet trip, will be IFR. If you're flying a little Cessna 172, for example, or something like that, and you were going to fly about visually, then you'd select VFR or whatever else. But we're IFR rules, and we go ahead and put in EGCC, departing out Manchester, and destination EGKK, which is Gatwick, the airport code for Gatwick. And our diversion airport, our alternate, is Bournemouth. You want to put your departure time in here, which is hours and minutes, and it's in Zulu, so it'd be Zulu time. Currently, let's just say we're looking to depart at 1600 Zulu, 4 PM UK time. And from SimBrief, we know that our time en route was 42 minutes, so we can go ahead and put that in. And we'll look to have about 1 hour 35 fuel, and that cruise of flight level 190 in that bottom section there. The route section at the top here, that's what you need to copy from SimBrief. So providing it's a valid route, and if you've got Navigraph, then use that instead because that has the latest AirAx. SimBrief is out of date, so some of these routes are actually invalid. But go ahead and copy that because I've validated it and I know that's correct. And then you just paste it in there. If it's your first ever Vatsim trip, I always make sure I've got MSFS in remarks so they know that we're on Microsoft Flight Simulator, and they can then sort of expect potential issues with the sim. But if it's your first ever Vatsim flight, just write in up here, first Vatsim flight. And the remarks are visible to the controllers, so they'll be able to see that it's your first Vatsim trip, and they'll try and help you where possible. So then you go ahead and press File Flight Plan. Once you've done that, the box disappears. And then you click Flight Plan on vPilot again, and you click Fetch from Server. And it will come up with a little pop-up saying Flight Plan Fetched. And then you can go ahead and close that flight plan area there. Make sure you put a valid call sign in when you log into the network itself. So we're EasyJet, and they obviously then use the 3-letter designation of Echo Zulu Yankee. And then you have your call sign. So for us today it's Easy67 Romeo, for example. What you then need to know is you have to make sure, of course, that you've put your flight plan into your MCDU as you've put it into vPilot, so that they're the exact same. And then you want to go on to Manchester ATIS. To get clearance, they're going to need to know certain pieces of information, because you need to get clearance from the controller for your IFR journey. So by clicking on to Manchester ATIS, we get the latest METAR and a whole load of information to look at. And what I like to do is I like to get a piece of paper and I write down a lot of this information. Okay, so there we go. Our call sign is Easy67 Romeo for today, and this is sort of a demonstration of what I'd write on my piece of paper. We need to know what stand number we're on, so we go ahead and look at the sim. And Manchester Airport as well as Gatwick, for example, are fantastic with the sceneries because we've got the stand numbers in place. So we know we're at stand 28 at Manchester. So we can go ahead and on my piece of paper I would then also write stand 28, aircraft type Airbus A320 Neo, and we need more ATIS information for this as well. So we would then look at reading some of this. So we can see here that Manchester is currently on information Delta, and the runway in use is runway 23 right, which is what we've already planned for in the flight plan. So we don't need to worry about changing the runway that we plan to use in our flight plan because we've already got that correct, but we need to write down information Delta. So on my piece of paper I would write info Delta, and along with that you need the QNH information, which is here, QNH 1000, and I write just Q1000. Now interestingly, if this QNH was 997 for example, then you would need to announce that as QNH 997 or 997 hectopascals. That's how they like it on Vatsim apparently, but its QNH is 1000, so we leave that piece of information there for us. And then we need to ask for our IFR clearance, so you'd ask request IFR to London Gatwick. So that's what pretty much what I write down on my piece of paper in front of me. Every flight that I do, every stream that you guys watch, I've got all of that information written down in front of me, and I change it as I need to. Below that, you then need to prepare for a readback. So you need to know cleared via, and we already know from our flight plan that we've got that Samba 1 Yankee departure, which is a valid departure at Manchester. So we've got it on SimBrief on our flight plan bit there, Samba 1 Yankee for the start of the route. But if we go on to ChartFox, for example, which is free, and we log in with our Vatsim IDs, chartfox.org/EGCC, and we can go onto the SID tab. Scroll down and we can go, okay, these are all the different departures that we can use, and we're using the Samba 1 Yankee. So we can go ahead and open that, and I always click this here where it says sourced from. I click that to expand it, so it becomes its own page. And you can see here that after departure there's a slight right turn, and then we make our way left into Tabley and Samba. And we've got the name of the SID there, Samba 1 Romeo or 1 Yankee, depending on which runway that we are departing on. 23 right would actually be a Samba 1 Romeo, so we'd have to go in and change that on our flight plan. So we could expect a Samba 1 Romeo departure to be read back to us. So when we call up, Vatsim's top down as well, so at the minute, for this example, if there's a clearance delivery on, which would be under this section here, we'd tune into them and we'd request the clearance via clearance delivery, but ground will do the job for us in their place because there's no clearance online. So Vatsim's always top down. So we would tune to 121.850 and we would ask for our clearance as I've pretty much written it on here. So we'd wait to make sure that we're not interrupting anybody else, and we'd then press the push to talk and say Manchester ground, easy 6-7 Romeo, Airbus A320 at stand 28 with information Delta, QNH 1000, request IFR clearance to London Gatwick. And they would reply with easy 6-7 Romeo, Manchester ground, good evening. So you're cleared to London Gatwick via the Samba 1 Romeo departure, squawk 4857. But I go ahead and then write that on my piece of paper. And we'd read that back as cleared via the Samba 1 Romeo departure to London Gatwick, squawk 4857 for easy 6-7 Romeo. They would reply with, providing we have it correct, easy 6-7 Romeo, read back correct.
Cannon name and 666 ready for push and start.
What we then need to do is get the aircraft ready, and if we were on clearance delivery, we would have to call them up and say we're fully ready.
Thank you for start food stand 23, thanks for the QNO contact.
And that is how that's how you get your clearance, guys. So once you've got everything prepared with the aircraft and you're ready to push back, if you had called for your clearance with clearance delivery, you'd need to call them up and say Manchester delivery, easy 6-7 Romeo, fully ready. And they would then say to you, easy 6-7 Romeo, Roger, contact Manchester ground on 121.850. Good day. And you just read it back to them. Contact ground 121.85 for easy 6-7 Romeo. Thank you. Good day. But that is touching on to a video for another day. So make sure you tune in for the next few videos of the Vatsim series to try and help people get started. It was requested by quite a few subscribers, so I'm trying to create this helpful little mini series. If you like the video, make sure you click the like button, and if you're new to the channel, please subscribe while you're here, and join us on Discord. If you've got any suggestions for any content or any questions of any sort, then feel free to just ask them in there or reply in the comments. If you've given it a go for your first time and you've completed your first Vatsim flight, then let me know how it's gone in the comments below as well, and hopefully you've had a good experience. Thank you everybody for watching, and I hope you join me in a live stream in the very near future.